So start acting like that now, start being in the end, and start living in the end. Acting, living, being in the end. So one of the most common mistakes that people make when it comes to living in the end or acting as if is that they don't actually live in the end. So let me explain how you really should be doing it. So when it comes to living in the end, I would like to say that it's not actually about acting as if, although that is the expression, but you should not be acting. I mean, this is not acting school, guys. It's not acting. You should live and be in the end. And there's a key difference there. So don't just act as if. You need to step into that person. You know, you need to be that person. You need to live in the end. You need to be in the end. You need to stay in the end. And so how do you do that? Well, let's just take an example. This might be a silly example, but let's say that you want to manifest, or step into a desired reality where you have a bigger social circle. Let's say, for example, you move to a new country or you move to a new city and you want to just expand your social circle a little bit. And so you have to consider then, how would the person in that desired reality behave? And who would that person be? So you need to step into the identity of that person. Don't just act, pretend as if you are that person. You are that person. Decide right now that you are that person. So again, this example then. So how would a person that wants to have a bigger social circle behave and act? What identity would that person have? And most likely, if you're a person that have a big social circle, you would probably, for example, appreciate your alone time more, because usually, like, if you are connecting with people all the time and you have a very active social life, you probably, I don't know, but you probably enjoy your alone time more once you have some alone time. So, don't wait for that to happen. Start doing that now. Start enjoying your alone time now, because that's the behavior that person would have. And so, I mean, I know that sounds a little bit counterproductive, like, why would I appreciate my alone time if I don't want more alone time, but that is what you need to do, because if you are constantly like anxious, or you're feeling like, oh my god, I'm alone again because I want more friends, you're coming from a needy point of view, and neediness is definitely going to push you far, 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 far away from your desired reality. So don't be needy, and act as if you are that person. But again, I don't mean act as in pretend. Step into that identity. So try to be a little bit, imaginary here. So how, like, you can draw a mind map, or make some notes before you start acting differently. But think to yourself, how would that person be? What identity would that person have? And again, most likely that person would probably be more satisfied with being alone. But what I also want to stress is that you need to take action. You can't just sit and wait. And this is where my recommendations might differ a little bit from what you have heard everyone else saying. But I would like to say that you need to take action as well. You can't just manifest, like do affirmations, and then you, I don't know, cross your fingers and hope for the best. You need to do something as well. I don't know. Some people seem to be able to do affirmations, and then they wake up the next day and they are millionaires. And for me, that has never in my life happened. And for a lot of people that doesn't work. Mostly because they have limiting beliefs, and it's very difficult to eliminate or reduce limiting beliefs around things as that it's actually possible to become a billionaire overnight, because a lot of us have a lot of resistance to that, because we have certain beliefs since we were kids, so again, but that's hard. Some people seem to be able to do that, and for them I can just congratulate, that's amazing for you if you're one of those people. A lot of people are not able to do affirmations, and then the next day they just become billionaires, so that's why I'm here to give you some hands-on practical tips and advice when it comes to manifesting. And one of those tips I would like to give you is that you need to take action as well. And I think this is something that a lot of people are missing. A lot of people, when it comes to law of attraction and manifestation, are missing the fact that it's not enough to just wish, sit at home and wish and hope for the best. You need to also be different. Because again, if you are in your desired reality, you have something that you don't have in your current reality, and that most likely leads to the fact that you feel differently than you do in your current reality. So feel those feelings now, try to feel those feelings now. Don't wait for your wish or dream or desire to arrive until you feel good. Try to feel those emotions now. But again, I'm not saying that you need to be happy all the time. You do not have to walk around like in a constant state of happiness where you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited all the time. Because we're humans, no one is excited all the time. There are going to be days when you feel sad, but again, you need to take on the identity of that person. Acting as if is about taking action. So number one, take action, do something. Because again, if you want to shift your reality, let's say your desired reality is here, and then you want to shift to a new reality, which is here, or somewhere, there's a big difference between those realities. And to do that jump from here to here, you need to do something differently. You need to feel something differently. You need to be different, and I would like to recommend you, like, one way to do that shift is to actually, you can encourage it a little bit by acting differently, because, again, it's very rare for people to just, even though you might have seen a lot of videos here on YouTube and success stories, people, write in the comment field, these things like, oh my God, I did one affirmation and then I won the lottery, but again, you have to be realistic. Like, how can you win the lottery if you're not even participating in the lottery? You need to buy one first, so you need to take action, that's my key point here. So and it's not like, let's say again you want a bigger social circle. Well, it's not like, it would be quite it would be amazing if it happened, but it's quite unrealistic that you would do affirmations and then the next morning you wake up and you have 15 new friends standing in your living room and they're like, hello, can we hang out? That's not going to happen. You need to do something to get there. So if you're a person that wants to manifest a bigger social circle, again, this is just an example, it could be anything, but then what identity and personality does that person have? Probably they are more, open-minded to new connections. They are probably not so afraid of speaking to new people. They are probably confident. And probably, I'm just guessing here, you have to draw your own mind map here. This is just an example, but maybe they are more confident. Maybe they are not as afraid of what other people are gonna think or say about them, and that's why they connect with people, because they are just being themselves, And okay, so if that's the person you want to be, start being that person now. So don't just sit at home and manifest, do something different. So if you're a person that is normally like a bit shy or introverted, and it doesn't come naturally for you to connect with people like that, well, try to step outside your comfort zone then. Try to maybe go to more events, maybe, I don't know, try to strike up a conversation with a stranger, do something different. And try to be more confident in yourself, if that's the person you want to be in your desired reality. So take on that identity right now, and that's how you align with the vibration of that reality, and that's how you can manifest faster. So it's all about, one, taking action, and then number two, you need to also be in the end, stay in the end. So being in the end is to don't just pretend to be different for one day or act as if for a couple of days, and then you sort of get tired of it and you think like, oh, nothing is happening, I'm just gonna, screw it, then you are not staying in the end. You need to be and stay in the end, and and either way, it's like, you're not risking anything by doing that. So I can't see any downsides by trying to shift to a higher vibration by taking on a new identity, because your desired reality is probably vibrating on a higher frequency, and so aligning with that frequency is only going to do you good, so you have got nothing to lose. So start acting like that now. Start being in the end and start living in the end. Acting, living, being in the end. And I think this is something that a lot of people are missing when it comes to the law of attraction, because it's not enough for most people. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but for most people, it's not enough to do affirmations and hope for the best, and because that's quite passive. You need to also take action and do something. And don't wait for someone to give you permission to do that, or wait for the desire to come. Like, if you want to manifest having a new car or whatever, I mean, don't wait for the new car to arrive until you feel happy or excited. Start feeling that now, And if you want to be like a social butterfly or whatever, well, act like one now, because that's how you align with that reality. So that's one way you can encourage your manifestations a little bit, by stepping outside of your comfort zones. And I have done this a lot. I have tried actively to push myself to do things I wouldn't be comfortable doing, but I know I need to do it to shift my reality, So I can tell you those stories some other time. But there's a lot of stories, so I actively try to, do things I don't really like, or I'm not really comfortable with, but I know that if I do that, something will shift. I will start to align more with the identity of the person I want to be in the desired reality. So it's all about, identity and being that identity now. Don't wait for it. Just decide right after you finish watching this video, decide that you are the new person, and that's still you. It's not like you're going to be a different person. It's just a different version of you, a better version of you. So start being that better version now, So that's my key point here. So I think, the law of attraction and manifestations can sometimes appear to be it's sometimes a bit oversimplified. And I would like to give it a little bit more depth and, give you some realistic tips and advice, because a lot of these things are quite unrealistic. The things you hear and see, like, listen to this subliminal 5 times before you go to bed, and then you're going to become rich next day. I don't know if that has happened to you. Feel free to comment if that has happened to you. I mean, I am amazed. That's like, amazing. That has never happened to me, so that is why I am even here trying to give you advice, because I know that for a lot of people that doesn't really work, And so yeah, some advice from my end. Anyway, guys, that's all I had to say now. And as usual, the drill. Like, if you like this video, feel free to turn on notifications and subscribe, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, have an amazing evening, have an amazing day, have an amazing weekend, have an amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.